This is one of my favourite dishes, Hainanese poached chicken. It's really easy to do, and by poaching it, we keep it nice and juicy and succulent, the way it should be. Now, there's a little bit of a trick to poaching it, and you're loving this one. I can see you're excited.
I'm excited. I can smell, this is one of my favourites.
Okay, now I've got a pot of boiling water here, and to add flavour to that pot, I've got some onion, some garlic, some ginger, some spring onion, the coriander root here.
Yes.
And put it all in straight away.
So the root of the coriander's got a lot of flavour. People often don't realise that, but we use it too in Indian cooking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now to that, I'll add a couple of little cloves, some star anise and some coriander seed. In that goes.
Nice.
And to add even more flavour, I've got some soy sauce. A little bit of light soy sauce goes in there, and that will help to colour it a little bit. Now, normally they would just cook it in poaching water, but I like to add a little bit of flavour to it to get it going. And also, to give it a bit of sharpness, I've got some rice wine vinegar.
Nice.
And that goes in there as well. Now, this is a beautiful chicken. It's ready to go like this. And you can do this with jointed chicken, but nothing beats a whole chicken when you're doing Hainanese chicken. Now, I've got it on the board here, and I'll show you a little tip that I do. I've got some of this butcher's twine, and you can get this from any butcher. Just ask for a couple of metres of it, and they'll pull it off for you. Or you just go get your garden twine. That's another thing you can get as well.
Doesn't burn, right?
No, it doesn't
Okay.
burn at all. So I pop it through the middle here with this little hook here.
Yes.
And then I take it off, and this is my little trick. I put it around the legs and pull it nice and tight. What that does is it holds it together, but it's also a great little handle. So you take it like this and pop it straight into the pot, and then all you need to do is just make sure it's on its back there, and that means all of the liquid will go into the vent or inside the cavity. And what I like to do is just take it out after about 10 minutes or so, drain it off, and then pop it back in. But you can see using the string makes it really easy to manoeuvre
Very
the chicken
fancy.
around. Yes. There's
like it.
plenty of little tricks, and I just tie it onto the handle here
It's
like that.
like a little boat.
Exactly, like a little boat. Now, I've made sure that I've got plenty of liquid in there so it covers the chicken. Another tip is you want to make sure you don't put too much liquid in there, because when you put the chicken in, it overflows and goes everywhere, and that's what you don't want. So on goes the lid, and that's a tight-fitting lid. I turn it up to about medium to high and get it back up to the boil. I let it simmer for 3 or 4 minutes very gently, and then turn it off.
Okay.
And it will cook all the way through and stay moist and juicy, which is what we want. Now, in the meantime, I've got some garlic and some ginger there. I want you to microplane that till it's nice and fine, because we're going to do the chicken rice.
Yes, the
Which
best
is
bit.
Exactly, it's the best part of it. Now, here's my little tip for doing it. I've got a pot on here, and I'll turn it on to about a medium-high heat, and I want to get this duck fat to give it really, really nice flavour.
You could use olive oil though, Richo.
Why? When you've got duck fat, it just makes it so delicious. That's what it's all about. Now, you've got the garlic and ginger there.
I do.
And I've got some rice here. This is jasmine rice that's been washed, and it's really important when you are using rice, just wash it under the sink and get all that milky water off it, and then put it into a little colander and strain it off. The duck fat's melted. If you want to give me that ginger
You want
and
this.
garlic.
It's not speedy enough, chef. Here you
Oh,
go.
it's close enough for me. Now, grab that. I'll pop that straight into it. Here's another tip. If whatever you're putting the ginger and garlic into is hot, put it on the spoon and then tip it in. And then you won't splash
Won't
yourself.
get burnt. Good
There you go.
idea.
Smells great,
It
doesn't
smells beautiful, but I'm so interested because you like jasmine rice.
Yes.
I tend to use basmati because it's low GI. It tends to have more health benefits. Tell me about jasmine. Why do you choose it?
I like the fragrance of the jasmine rice. It's just a beautiful smell, and I love the taste of it as well. Now, I need some salt and pepper in here, so a good pinch of salt into the rice.
Big pinch.
Now, I'll just stir that around a little bit to fry off the garlic and the ginger with the rice just for a minute or so till it all starts to come together. And you can see it's starting to turn white a little bit. Now, at this stage here, I add the stock, and I pour it over the spoon so that there's no bits of rice left behind. When you put the liquid in, touch the top of the rice and make sure the liquid goes up to the first joint. And then some baking paper, which is my other little trick. I tear off a little bit of this, pop it on top of the pot, and then the lid on top of that. That creates a nice little seal. As soon as that comes up to the boil, I'll turn it down to the lowest setting, let it sit there for about 12 to 15 minutes. Now, over here, you can see perfect timing.
You can smell it.
My chicken's come up to the boil, and at this stage here, I turn it off till it just sits there all by itself, and that will be enough heat to cook the chicken all the way through the middle. Lid on top, the chicken's poaching away there, and the rice is cooking nice and slowly. We'll clean all this down. We'll make the chilli sauce to go with it. This will be delicious.
It will.
there's the duck rice there, or it's supposed to be chicken rice, but it's duck rice. And I put a knob of butter on the top of it so it oozes down through it and makes it even more delicious. The sauce is ready to go. And after about 35 to 40 minutes, the chicken will be bang on. Hang on to it like that. And I just grab this little lifter underneath, little spider, and carefully pull it out.
So easy, Richo. If you didn't want to use a whole carcass, could you do drumsticks or thigh?
You
thigh
could.
with the bone in?
You could, but to me, it's all about the whole chicken. That's what brings out the flavour.
Oh, this smells amazing.
A little pro tip is we just take the string off because the string can be a little bit chewy, so we get rid of that and we spoon on some of this liquid to make it even more delicious and juicy, lovely flavoured broth.
Yes.
And then we just put some of this sauce over the top of it, or the salsa, just over the top.
I love this. I love the flavours in there, the herbs, the lime juice, the chilli.
Oh, look at that.
I'm salivating, Richo. I'm salivating.
Let's spread that around. It's looking good. A little bit of the liquid on there. It's going to be great, isn't it? Now, you can serve it whole like this, or you can pull it apart into little pieces. But I just put a little bit of herb on the side of it to make it look nice and pretty. And you can imagine popping this down on the table. It's going to look fantastic. Lots of aroma. That's what it's all about. Grab the fork. Let's get stuck into this.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'll just pull this leg off here. You can see it's cooked all the way through and it's really nice and moist, and off comes that piece of meat. I'm going to pop that on there for you.
Thank you, Richo.
And I'm going to tuck into this little piece down the side here.
Smells.
The chicken is so moist and just really, really juicy. That's what you want.
The flavour in that rice, I know it's got a lot of fat in it. You put the butter and the duck fat. I would probably go olive oil, but it is very delicious. This is really fresh. I love it. You could put some veggies on the side, some bok choy or whatever you like, but leave me with this and you can clean up the kitchen.
I'll do that.